What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Scott Arniel being named the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Last year obviously was the associate coach to Rick Bowness, and now he steps into the head coaching role after the Winnipeg Jets do, pretty quick search. I'd say it wasn't anything crazy. I don't think that there was any candidates that were really mind-blowing or, absolutely had to go after this year. Sheldon Keefe being the headliner. I did like Sheldon Keefe quite a bit for the situation that the Jets are in, but at the end of the day, it goes to New Jersey. Scott Arniel gets the job as Jets head coach. Arniel, now taking over for Bowness, has been coaching for just about 25 years now, his headlining job being the head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets in the 2010-2011 season, and then let go by them in the 2011-2012 season. Now named head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, he'll get his second gig as a head coach in the NHL. Scott does have a lot of ties to Winnipeg, obviously, as he was, part of the Winnipeg Jets 1.0 era. He played for the Moose, head coached for the Moose. He was the associate coach for the last couple of seasons here in Winnipeg, and now the head coach of the Jets. So Scott Arniel climbs the ladder and is now, once again, over 10 years later, a head coach in the NHL. Now, let's be real, no one really thought that it was going to be anybody except Arniel. I know, according to Elliot Friedman on the 32 Thoughts podcast, did say that Dean Evason, former head coach of the Minnesota Wild, did have a very good interview there, and Winnipeg was very impressed with him, but they were going to be sticking to their guns pretty much no matter what. He said, again, in the 32 Thoughts episode, that somebody would really have to blow the doors off them to get them to lean away from Arniel. So obviously the Jets, they really like Arniel, and they're going to stick with him here. I think that was kind of the plan. Bowness was definitely a stopgap at the time. 2 years, give him the third-year option if everything works out. And, it's time to let go with Bowness. He retired, and Arniel steps in. So I do think that it was pretty pre-planned. I don't think that there was really any doubt that Arniel was going to be the next guy. We kind of knew that even before the season had ended. But now with Scott Arniel coming into the role, does this change anything for the Winnipeg Jets? And is this a needle mover? I'm going to say no. I think that this is more so just Rick Bowness adjacent at this point. I think it's just kind of Rick Bowness in a different, younger build, right? I don't think it's too much different. I hope that Arniel can maybe work the lines a little bit better, put together a lineup that works a little bit better than Bowness could. There was definitely times last season where, especially in the back half, where the lineups were kind of strange and you were wondering, hey, why is Cole Perfetti on the fourth line? Hey, why is Cole Perfetti scratched? So I do wonder this year if Scott Arniel comes in, changes some things, and if Neil Pionk is having a horrific night, maybe Neil Pionk doesn't need to play 20 minutes a night. Maybe Scott Arniel can step in there and say, hey, no, we're going to be changing some things here, and just how they operate just a little bit. He seems definitely determined from what I can see, and I hope that hey, maybe he can bring a cup home to Winnipeg. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of in the middle for me. It's kind of a who cares hire. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, but at the end of the day, were there really any better options? I don't really think so. Nothing, better enough to move away from what they had already. So the Jets move forward with Scott Arniel. I am interested to see who takes over for Scott Arniel as the associate coach. Do they, elevate Brad Lauer? Will Brad Lauer even be on the bench next season, right? I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see how the bench fills out. But just something else to watch now as Jets have the head coach. I'm sure they'll consult with Scott Arniel, see if he has any ideas. Maybe we'll call up Jason Jaffrey into the mix, or maybe Mike Keane wants an associate job. Anybody from Manitoba, right? But yeah, we'll have to see where the assistant coaches, kind of fill in here. Obviously, I'm joking about the Mike Keane and Jason Jaffrey thing. It would just be very on brand for True North, right? But going forward here, the biggest fish to fry are on the grill of Kevin Cheveldayoff's. He's got some UFA things to figure out. Elliot Friedman reporting that the Jets would really like to keep Sean Monahan, and God, I hope not. I'm going to make a video about that probably Wednesday, and why I think re-signing Sean Monahan could be a potential disaster and really pigeonhole the Jets into what they're trying to build here. The window, probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 years open. Signing Sean Monahan would be a disaster, but Chevy needs to navigate this offseason masterfully as he did last offseason. Will Nikolai Ehlers be a Jet next year? We'll have to see. Will Cole Perfetti even want to sign a deal? Again, have to see. Who are the UFAs we're going to sign? Again, gonna have to see. Right now, everything kind of just based on vibes out there. There's not really a whole lot of concrete stuff going. I'm sure we'll hear some more stuff as we get closer to the draft and the playoffs actually end. But right now, really nothing too concrete. Scott Arniel, head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. We'll have to see who else they hire to fill out the bench, and we'll have to see who they re-sign. But that's where we're at in the offseason, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. What are your thoughts on Scott Arniel as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets? Are you happy? Are you sad? Or do you just kind of not care, right? Is it kind of just one of those things where you're kind of more worried about what Kevin Cheveldayoff has to, kind of going on right now? But yeah, let me know down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.